What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Debo. Today's topic will be about how to better your interview experience virtually and face-to-face in person. First things first, presentation. Yes, you might think just because you're doing virtually doesn't mean they're going to ask you for a room tour or a virtual 360 around your room. Take it from me, I had an interviewer ask me to do a 360 around my room to see what my work environment looks like. So I have to stop the camera and prepare for that 360. Don't just think just because you're doing virtually they won't ask you to do a room tour. That's definitely not the case. That's one of the main things they probably will ask you on a virtual interview. You want to have a nice working environment in a quiet place, and also a clean and tidy area where there's no play in the room. While we're still on the topic about presentation, let's dig deeper into that. Also, when you're presenting, you have to worry about presenting yourself, the way you are looking at the camera and showing focus and interest to your interviewer. You don't want to be slouching like this. In the words of the teacher off Matilda, stomachs in, back straight, no slouching. Use that reference when you're doing an interview, virtually or in person. Make sure you're dressed with the proper attire for an interview. Usually they will send an email or confrontation to tell you what you should be dressed as during the interview. If not, always just dress up just because. Dress as if you're going to a business event or going to church. For boys, suit and tie, that's not necessary, but a shirt and tie may be good, or a button-up shirt. Make sure you're wearing your proper pants because you never know if they ask you to do a stand-up. Just because it's a virtual interview doesn't mean you can't take it like it was a person-to-person, face-to-face interview. So dress with the right attire. Second, dedication. Show up to your interview or your virtual interview with a mindset of, I'm going to get this job. I have what it takes to get this job. Not a mindset that will allow you to be shaky, nervous, thinking, I'm not qualified for this job. I'm not good enough for this job. We don't want that type of mindset. We want a I can do mindset. Third, we're going to talk about being prepared. Showing up on your interview on time is one good thing, but also having what it takes for the interview is another good thing. As an example, have your resume on standby. Already have the company information down packed in your brain, so if they ask you any questions about the company, you already know the answers to them. So it never hurts to look up information about the company ahead of time. Also, don't sound shaky when you're talking. Having an affirmed voice to make it sound like you really want the position and you can do the job very well. Especially if it's a customer service representative job or any type of job that requires you to speak to customers on a daily basis. And make sure you know what you're talking about. Don't say I'm not sure. Say you're sure of. I know what I'm talking about. Things like that. Now let's move on to the top 5 questions almost every interviewer will ask you, no matter if it's virtual or in person. Question number 1, why should we hire you? This is one of the top questions you will hear in the interview, no matter where you go. This is where it pays to look up the information about the job ahead of time. So you can answer this question by saying, for an example, I can lift over a certain amount of weight for a long period of time. I can stand on my feet for even 7 to 8 hours at a time. I can also speak fluent English and fluent Spanish. Also, put your own little personal touches to your answer, like saying, I'm very dedicated to my work. I like to make sure my work is nice and clean. I'm never late. I'm always on time. You can depend on me to do stuff within a certain time allotted. This question is where you would just go through the qualifications listed on their website and their job description and list every single one of them in your answer and saying, I can, and then the qualification. Question number 2, what are your strengths? Now this question right here is another question you should look up on their website on the job position you filed for. For this question, you would say things like, for example, like, I'm very good at perfecting my work. You don't just want to stop at one thing. You want to say what you're good at, then also elaborate on the answer. This is another reason why you should look at your job description and look at the job qualifications ahead of time. Because if it says must be able to lift 70 pounds in a certain amount of time, can stand on your feet for longer than 8 hours, you would put that in your answer for what are my strengths. So you would be like, I can lift 70 pounds for a long periodically time. I can also stand on my feet for 8 to 12 hours at a time. Stuff like that. And also put your personal touches to it. Next question is, what are your weaknesses? Now, a lot of people mess up by actually saying their weakness. This question is a tricky question, but you should never say your weakness. You should say a strength to make it sound like a weakness. What I'm saying about that, like saying, I'm very detail oriented, meaning I like to perfect my work. And while I'm taking so much time perfecting my work, I lose out on a lot of time that could have been spent elsewhere. Another example of what are my weaknesses is I'm a sucker for helping others when need of assistance on the job. Like saying if someone needed a better explanation of something and not getting what they are doing, I would stop what I'm doing and help them out. And that would make me lose some of my time spent helping with another person. And if that makes me fall behind a little bit, hey, I can't help it. I love to assist other customers and other people on the job so they won't fall behind. Because I know that feeling. Third question, why do you want to join our company? Now this is another trick question. You can't just answer this with any type of way you feel like. You have to take thought into consideration. You can't just be like, because I need the money. Or y'all not hiring? You cannot be like that. You can say things like, I'm very dedicated to my work. And if you have any experience to the job you're applying to, make sure you say that in your answer. Like saying, I have a lot of experience in customer service, 2 years to be exact. Stuff like that. This is a simple question that some people make it hard for no reason. Notice how all these questions you are given are basically in the job description on the job position you applied for. All you have to do is look up the job description, look up the job qualifications, and reword them in your own words and turn them to your answer. Not forgetting to add your touch, adding extra answers about yourself. What number are we on?
A few moments later.
Fifth question and final question for this virtual interview. Do you have any questions for us? Now, this is one of the most top questions you're going to get asked. Do you have any more questions for us? Now, don't say no. That shows that you're not interested, you're not dedicated to the job position, you just want it for the money. You have to ask some questions. Example, do not ask how much you're getting paid. That's the one of the questions you should never ask on the interview. Ask questions like, what type of work environment will I be stepping into on a day-to-day basis? Will I be trained? And if so, how long is training? How many hours am I expected to work within a week? How often are promotions? Is this a fast-paced job? And are things changing quickly in this job field? And if you can't think of any questions at the moment, don't say no questions. Be like, if I have any questions, where can I contact you? That should be one of the questions you should ask. Never say no. Never. And if they give you the answer to that question, write it down. Write it down. Alright, that's it for this video today. Today we talked about bettering your interview experience. Remember, always stomach in, back straight, no slouching. Remember that phrase when you're doing the interview. Thanks for watching. I'm Debo. Make sure you leave a like if you like this video. Comment down below on what you want me to do next. And subscribe to my channel. And also share this video however you see fit on any social media platform. Thanks for watching.